right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dowell of the Straight With You radio broadcast. I bless each and every last one of you. I'm glad that you're here. Hallelujah. My brother and my friend down in Florida, J Snip 4. You need to go check out his channel. Makes very informative videos in which he did give some very sound advice about the 100-ounce silver bar, which I had already considered a few years ago. Since silver is climbing so much, I figured along about that $6,000 to $8,000 range, I was going to go ahead and liquidate the thing. But the advice that he's given is very sound, because I heavily believe that you should not own any silver in any greater amounts than 10 ounces. And even at that, with the way that it looks like it is getting ready to go, that in itself may even be a challenge. So when you can do it in coinage in smaller amounts, he is definitely correct, right on the point. And so we definitely have to get rid of some of those. I'm actually thinking about, as I see gold continue to go up, I'm actually thinking about getting rid of some more gold coins. I'm actually getting some more silver coins because of the upside that I see that's getting ready to take place with silver. Switching stations here just for a second. Omar Gaddafi. Now, a lot of you Americans out there, you don't know too much about history, and you really don't care. You don't know too much about what's going on in this world, and you don't care. Most of you won't get this video till later on, because you will not go check out the things to see what I'm saying, see if it's so or not. Most of you will probably check this video out after you get finished coming out of your pagan churches on Sunday. And then you'll want to come over here and really get preached to and really get the truth, to where your soul really can be fed. Because when you go to those churches on Sunday, all you're doing is going in for a bunch of sensationalism. You're going there to get tied up with a bunch of lies to make you feel good, but it's not going to do anything for you personally as a person, definitely for your spirit and soul. Because they're a bunch of stage players, professional hypocrites, and that's just the way it is. But anyway, in 1981, Omar Gaddafi started the project of putting in a fresh water supply there in Libya. Now, you understand that Libya is 95% desert. And he didn't complete that project until 2010. Now, the United States paints everybody in the Middle East as some type of brutal dictator. Now, if that's the case, then what about us here in America? Who's going to call our president and our very police state itself a brutal dictator? I mean, after all, there are more Americans that die on the streets weekly here in this country at the hands of the government than there are that people who die in wars over across the seas, especially in a land called Africa. Most of you don't understand, and most of you don't even know that land that they call Africa was named after a European by the name of Leo Africanus. But that land anciently was originally known as the land of Ham. Now, the reason why I bring up all that is because it seems like that we have the United States along with Britain and France make a concerted effort to do everything that they can to get the powers that be over in the Middle East to constantly fight against each other. Now, you ask yourself a question: why in the world are we over in the Middle East in the first place? I'll tell you the reason why we're in the Middle East and in Africa. The reason why we're in the Middle East and in Africa is because of resources. Nobody in the United States of America believes, unless you're a fool and unless you're some idiot just done bumped your head against some cattle trough or something, nobody actually believes that we actually go over there to liberate their people, because we actually care about what these people are doing to their people. In that case, we need somebody to come and deliver us from the hands of our own oppressive government that flies under the radar as if they're benevolent and loving and kind and really care about your best interests, when they're jacking you in every chance they get. And every time they get, they borrow from your children's future and put us in extraordinary debt. And we're having our own land sold right out from under our nose because of these jackleg dogs of politicians. Don't care nothing about you. They're too busy lining their pockets with millions and trillions of dollars. And we ourselves are going to end up footing the bill. If you call that what they call a republic, much less this damn democracy that they keep mentioning over and over and over again. But the reason why they're in the Middle East and the reason why in Africa is because of resources, because those lands, which is, Africa, the mother or the cradle of civilization, is rich in resources. He who owns the oil controls the world. And that's the reason why the United States of America is using all of this window dressing, all of these lies, and going over there and they jacking the people over in Iraq. They're going to go after Saudi Arabia too. Why are they making footprints in Iran? And why they are already jacking Egypt and Yemen and the rest of them. And of course they send the CIA in and everybody else to trump up all this stuff. The news media, since it's government control because it's propaganda, is there to desensitize you people of what the truth really is. And because you don't know history, you repeat the same mistakes of the past. And the truth is, many of you don't care about history. Your pastors of your so-called churches, they're not going to inform you or tell you. They're going to have you don't just lift up a crazy praise. Oh, hallelujah, glory to the King, praise the Lord. Sow a seed of 1,000 so you can get 20,000. All them bunch of lies and junk like that. It's all sensationalism. That's all it is. They don't care nothing about your soul. But the truth is that Omar Gaddafi has actually built the largest freshwater supply over there in that country to supply food to all that continent of Africa over there. But the Europeans don't want that to happen. So because, you know, they went in. It's amazing how he just completed that freshwater supply in 2010. Now we're over there jacking Libya under the guise of the UN. Do you know who controls the UN? Somebody say the United States of America. Where's the footprint of the UN? Where's the building at? Here in the United States of America. So while the Americans are too busy, or these politicians and these liars are lying to you American people, twisting and warping and distorting your minds by all this merchandise and propaganda that they put out by the so-called news media. You believe it. You won't listen to stuff nobody like us because, see, we're just common, everyday old working men. You're not going to listen to me. You're not going to listen to Jay Snip. You're not going to listen to Max Kaiser. You ain't going to listen to Bob Chapman. You're not going to listen to SGT. You're not going to listen to all the people who are doing whatever they can to tell you the truth, to inform you of what's really truly going on in the world so you can prepare your house. But the land is rich in resources. Now, you remember when George Bush Sr. was a senator. He was the one that made a decisive vote as a senator to actually vote that Iraq and Iran, they would fund both sides of the war, which they're not telling you, would actually go at each other. So you, in the late 80s, you had Iraq and Iran bombing the living daylights out of each other, beating up each other. And then guess who goes in and makes a move only a few years later? The United States of America on the Gulf War on some trumped up charges. Why did we go over there? Think about it. Why did Saddam Hussein start burning all the oil wells and fields and stuff? Because he was sending you a message to let you know that the only reason why that the Americans and the Europeans are there is because of the oil, the black gold, oil. And so then we jacked all of his gold, and now we're after Omar Gaddafi's gold, which I think they've already probably done confiscated 143 tons of gold. Isn't that something? Now, the reason why we're over there is because, you see, China is growing. China is an industrialized nation that is a nation of producers. The United States of America, as well as the European euro, just like the dollar, we're nothing but consumers now. All the industries have been outsourced outside of this country through these stupid alphabet soup countries, or let me see, these stupid alphabet soup things called GAFTA, CAFTA, NAFTA, and all this, you know, free trade, free trade, free trade. Only problem is, ain't nobody freely trading with us no more because our dollar ain't worth a quarter. And the reason why our dollar ain't worth a quarter because our word as a country called America is not worth a dime. And that's just the truth. So they know that if they can control all the oil and everything, then they know they can actually slow down China. So you can look forward to them printing more money. And, you know, the reason why they haven't been printing any money right now is because they've been jacking your federal pension funds. So they're going to take from you. The country, remember, the government cannot produce anything. They only take. That's why if you follow my wisdom, follow my lead, follow my knowledge and my understanding, I will teach you how to get free of this system, to live free, separate from this system, with very minimum investment to live on a daily basis. But it's going to take a sacrifice, which many of you are not going to do because you are used to your luxuries that you've gotten here in America. And they depend upon you. and your flesh and your sensationalism and your lust to go after these things. That's why they advertise you half to death, and they keep you with a yoke on your neck in bondage by debt, because hey, we can't control ourselves. But anyway, here at Straightway, we're on the first day of the week. We're working. Yeah, we are working. Me and the brother were up mudding, sheetrocking, drywall in a home, which you should be doing. You should be doing something, cutting your grass. Take your children out, play with them, or do something like it. Get some quality time, rather than sending your children to all these schools and letting somebody else raise them for 8 and 9 hours a day. And the only thing you ever do is see them when they up in the morning for 20, 30 minutes. They on the school bus, or you don't drop them off daycare. Somebody else spends their time inserting their what they call a value system in them, because you refuse to homeschool your children because, oh, I ain't got nothing to do. I sit on my nerve. They get on my nerve. And most of you mamas just sit up there looking at soap operas all day long. If not, chances are now you out on some job somewhere and you got somebody else taking care of your children, then you wonder why the family home is dysfunctional. Forget about the 10 Commandments and all this other junk being taken out of the federal places or the public places. You need to make sure that the commandments are written on the tables of your heart. And if they were really truly written on your heart, you sure would not be in there, no church on no God Sunday today. That's the truth. If the commandments really truly written on your heart. But, you know, the things that I talk about are very unpopular because they require change. You must change. Because if you don't change your mind, you're going to continue to keep doing the same things again and again and again and again, which is nothing but the purest definition of insanity. And that's the truth. Remember, as long as you're in debt, the borrower is a servant to the lender. Far as silver go, keep stacking. Keep stacking, because the dollar is worthless and useless. Eric Sprott of the PSLV fund just got finished taking another large position in gold. You have to understand, I'm just a little old country boy. I get people come by here all of the time. Lafayette, Tennessee don't even know what's going on at this place here. People come here from all over the world, and I've got people who ask me for advice who are taking very large positions, and I'm talking I got a whole lot more money than I ever got, and investing $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 in metals because they've been watching my videos and my channel and getting spiritual advice from me because they check me out and know that I'm telling the truth. And then when they come here and see how I live, they know I'm a man of my word. And then they go and I tell them, go check out J. Snip 4. Get into his archive. See what he got to say. Because he'll put you right on point of what the real news is today. And then if you want to learn about what to do in case there's a natural disaster or catastrophe, that's when you go to Viking Preparedness and you listen to Pastor Joe Fox in Kansas, who will bring you right online. And we're going to have GOTS coming up here October 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Sister Carol and I will be in Kansas the first week of August this year to actually go and meet our brother and our friend up there in Kansas, Pastor Joe Fox, to hash out the final details of the gathering of the saints coming up this October 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. So there's no excuse about, well, we don't know what to do or we can't get this done. Oh, hey, we like I said, we have a network of people that are coming together quickly. A network of people that are seriously mean business. And you can't do this thing you can't do this by yourself. You need the saints. You need people of like mind, intelligent people. I need Pastor Joe Fox. I need Brother Joe. I need the church at Ringo, Georgia. I need the church in South Carolina. I need the saints that travel from far and come here almost every single Sabbath, driving 3 hours one way just to get to church service here on Sabbath. I need the saints of the Most High here, and more than anything, I need the Father. And I really, truly need them. But we got to have each other in order to be in one mind, one heart, one soul, one spirit. And we're all using each other's strengths, and we're getting it done. So while you're in the soup line, waiting on the government to give you another handout, and you're getting ready and getting conditioned to receive the calls of the beast in your head, or in your forehead, your right hand or in your forehead, your right hand or in your forehead. You're getting ready to get that done because you refuse. You keep listening to these clowns on Fox, CNN, ABC, MSNBC, CBS, you name all of the junk. It's a bunch of junk. That's what it is. Turn that TV on, get informed of what the real truth is, and get on board, because the train is getting ready to take off. And hey, the Bible teaches that a wise man's wisdom is despised, but it also teaches that the simple and the foolish, they pass right on by. And that's going to be the majority of people, because majority of people, you can't help but to listen to the videos. You know I'm telling the truth, but yet and still you can't find the performance. You know the reason why you can't find the performance? Because you have not worked on your heart. You need to work on your heart. You need to find honor and integrity down in there and get that hard working, because it's going to be a sad, sad thing what's coming down the pipe. 15 years ago, I had already prophesied and said that the United States of America is going to become a third world country. That's just the truth. And Walmart is going to be the distribution center for the new world order. You take those words to the bank. Well, you can't take them to the bank because the banks are bankrupt. But it is the truth. And that is the truth. Straightway. I hope you have the ears to hear. I hope today that you have a pleasant day, that you consider my words, and may the Most High give you understanding. It's hot out here. We're going back to work outside and do some old-fashioned sweating.